Hidden in the heart of Africa are sacred springs so powerful that entire villages believe gods protect them. These waters don't just flow, they heal, they judge, they remember. The belief in the supernatural power of these waters has been passed down through generations, deeply embedded in the spiritual practices of African cultures. From the mystical waters of Lake Tanganyika to the revered springs in the heart of West Africa, the idea that water holds divine power is a belief held by many African communities. Water in these cultures is more than just a physical element. It is the essence of life itself. Water nourishes, cleanses, and renews, making it a conduit between the physical world and the spirit realm. In many African traditions, water is believed to carry both healing powers and a profound sense of judgment. Sacred springs, therefore, are not merely sources of water, but are seen as living entities that are watched over by gods and spirits. These divine guardians are said to influence the lives of those who come to them, for better or worse. They are guardians of wisdom, protectors of community, and keepers of the balance between the earthly and the spiritual. But who exactly are the gods that guard these sacred springs? What roles do these deities play in the lives of those who revere them? What makes these waters so significant that people believe the gods themselves reside within them? In this journey through African spirituality, we will uncover the powerful spirits believed to govern the healing waters, and we'll explore the ways in which they have shaped rituals, legends, and even the fates of individuals. From ancient practices to modern-day pilgrimages, these sacred waters are more than just a resource. They are vital symbols of spiritual connection and protection. As we delve into the divine beings who protect these powerful springs, we will see how water remains a constant, timeless force in the lives of African communities, guarding their health, their spirits, and their destinies. Water holds an immense spiritual and symbolic significance across African cultures. It is regarded as much more than just a physical necessity. In African spirituality, water is seen as a bridge between the material world and the divine realm. Water is the element that connects life to the spirit world, and its presence is felt in the rhythms of daily life. From the life-sustaining rivers and lakes to the sacred springs that are said to have the power to heal, purify, and guide. Across the African continent, water is revered as a powerful life force. Rivers, lakes, and springs are often viewed as sacred spaces that embody both life and death, creation and destruction. Many African communities believe that water is a living entity, capable of both nurturing and punishing. For example, the Nile, one of the most famous rivers in the world, has been worshipped for centuries by the ancient Egyptians, who saw it as the lifeblood of their civilization. The river's annual flooding brought fertile soil, ensuring crop growth and sustenance, which made it a divine gift from the gods. In communities near the Nile, water is not only essential for survival, but is also considered a manifestation of divine power, offering prosperity and abundance, while also carrying the potential for destruction. In other parts of Africa, the concept of water as a purifier is deeply ingrained in spiritual practices. Many African peoples believe that water has the power to cleanse individuals spiritually, washing away impurities and sins. This purification process often takes place through rituals involving sacred springs or river bathing. For instance, the Yoruba people of Nigeria believe in the healing powers of water, which is central to their religious practices. They use water in cleansing rituals to remove negative energy and restore balance to the spirit. Similarly, in other cultures, water is seen as a medium that carries ancestral spirits. The spirits of the deceased are often believed to return through water, and many rituals include offerings to the spirits in rivers or at sacred springs, seeking blessings and guidance. Water's role as a healer is another crucial aspect in African spirituality. Sacred lakes and springs, believed to be touched by the divine, are often destinations for those seeking physical and spiritual healing. These healing waters are thought to have miraculous properties capable of curing ailments and providing peace to the soul. In South Africa, for example, the famous Batho Pele springs have long been believed to possess curative powers. Local communities have made pilgrimages to these springs for generations, trusting in their ability to heal both physical and emotional wounds. Healing waters are also used to restore balance in times of personal or communal crisis, offering a sense of renewal and rejuvenation. Beyond their physical and spiritual properties, rivers, lakes, and springs are also seen as gateways to deeper knowledge and wisdom. Many African cultures believe that the spirits of ancestors will reside within these waters, guiding the living and helping them navigate life's challenges. In certain parts of West Africa, for example, the Mami Wata, a water spirit associated with both beauty and danger, is revered. Mami Wata is considered a protector of water sources and a goddess of healing, with rituals dedicated to her to ensure prosperity, health, and protection from misfortune. These water spirits are seen as intermediaries between the human world and the divine, and offerings are made to them in the hope of receiving their favor and wisdom. The power of water extends beyond personal use. It is also a vital force for maintaining balance in the natural world. Rivers and lakes are seen as sacred highways for communication between the physical world and the gods. In some African cultures, water is used in agricultural rituals to ensure good harvests. The belief is that if the water flows freely and abundantly, so too will the crops and the land. The rivers and springs are thus intertwined with the prosperity of the land and its people, reinforcing the interconnectedness of all life. In summary, water in African spirituality is viewed not only as a life-sustaining resource, but also as a powerful spiritual force. It is both a purifier and a healer, offering physical rejuvenation as well as spiritual guidance. The sacred rivers, lakes, and springs are more than just geographical landmarks. They are revered as sacred spaces that hold the wisdom of ancestors, the protection of deities, and the potential for divine intervention. In every drop, water carries a deep and profound connection to the divine, embodying the eternal cycle of life and death, creation and destruction. The sacred waters of Africa continue to shape the spiritual lives of its people, preserving ancient traditions and beliefs that have lasted for generations. Water in African mythology is not only an essential element of life, but also governed by powerful deities that embody its profound significance. From the gods of the Yoruba people to the revered spirits of West and Central Africa, the divine forces that preside over water are not just protectors, but also powerful healers, judges, and bringers of prosperity. These deities have deep connections to the natural world and the spiritual realm, providing both guidance and blessings to the people who honor them. They are integral to the religious practices and beliefs of many African cultures, representing the inseparable link between nature, spirit, and the human experience. One of the most prominent water deities in African mythology is Olokun, the Yoruba god of the sea and wealth. Olokun is believed to reside in the deepest parts of the ocean, where his power is both awe-inspiring and mysterious. As the ruler of water, he governs not only the seas and rivers, but also the abundance they bring. Olokun is regarded as a deity who controls both the physical and spiritual aspects of water, from its life-giving and healing properties to its potential to destroy through storms and floods. He is revered for his ability to grant prosperity and success, especially in relation to trade, commerce, and health. In Yoruba culture, Olokun is often depicted as a figure with both male and female characteristics, embodying both the nurturing and destructive aspects of water. The deity's dual nature symbolizes the balance of life. Water as both a giver of life and a force of nature capable of immense power. The Yoruba also believe that Olokun has the power to heal ailments, especially mental and emotional wounds. His waters are thought to possess curative qualities that can restore balance to the body and spirit. This healing aspect of Olokun's power is honored through offerings and rituals, where worshippers seek blessings for good health, prosperity, and peace. Pilgrimages to sacred water sites associated with Olokun, such as the River Oshun in Nigeria, are common practices for those seeking healing and spiritual renewal. Olokun is also connected to the mysteries of the deep ocean, where he holds the wisdom of the ancestors and the knowledge of the universe. Those who venerate Olokun believe that his teachings can guide them through life's challenges, providing not only physical healing, but also spiritual enlightenment. Across the western coast of Africa, one of the most widely recognized water deities is Mami Wata. Known by many names and revered across West and Central Africa, Mami Wata is a spirit of water, beauty, and fertility. Often depicted as a mermaid or a seductive figure with the body of a woman and the tail of a fish, Mami Wata is associated with the life-giving and mystical properties of water. She is often seen as both a healer and a protector, offering her devotees the chance for spiritual rebirth and healing. However, she is also a figure of great mystery, and her association with the unknown depths of water gives her an aura of danger and allure. Mami Wata's origin story is somewhat fluid, with different interpretations depending on the region and the specific culture. Some believe she is a goddess that came from the sea, while others think she is a manifestation of African ancestral spirits who reside in water. Her influence spreads throughout various African communities, with each culture adopting her image and attributes in their own way. In some areas, Mami Wata is seen as a mother figure, bringing fertility to the land and offering protection to the people who honor her. In other places, she is regarded as a spirit who tests her followers, demanding loyalty and respect. Offerings to Mami Wata often include perfumes, mirrors, and exotic items that symbolize beauty, wealth, and fertility. Rituals and dances performed at sacred water sites in her honor aim to invoke her presence and receive her blessings of health, wealth, and protection. In addition to Olokun and Mami Wata, many other water gods and spirits are venerated across Africa, each with their own unique attributes and significance. In the African diaspora, particularly in the Caribbean and South America, the influence of water gods such as Yemaya, the goddess of the sea in the Afro-Cuban religion of Santeria, and Esu, the god of the crossroads in Yoruba mythology, continues to be felt. Yemaya is often depicted as a maternal figure who governs the ocean and is associated with fertility, motherhood, and healing. She is believed to have the power to heal emotional and physical ailments, and her waters are considered sacred, offering comfort and solace to those who seek her favor. In many African traditions, rivers and lakes are sacred to the gods, and the spirits that inhabit these waters are believed to possess the power to purify and protect. Rivers like the Zambezi and the Nile also have their own divine protectors, believed to be gods who govern the water's flow and maintain balance within the ecosystem. The Nile, for example, is considered the bloodline of the ancient Egyptian civilization, with many gods such as Hapi, the Nile god, believed to ensure its annual flooding and the fertility it brings. These gods were vital to the agricultural cycles of ancient African civilizations, as the fertile silt left by the Nile's floodwaters ensured the survival of crops and the prosperity of the land. Water gods are not just protectors of the land and people, but are also believed to be keepers of wisdom. Many African cultures believe that the spirits of ancestors reside in sacred waters, offering the guidance and wisdom to the living. These spirits are often invoked during rituals, with the water serving as the medium through which ancestral wisdom is passed down to the next generation. In many ways, water is seen as the ultimate connector between the past, present, and future, an eternal link that binds the living to the ancestors and to the divine forces of nature. In conclusion, the water gods of African mythology are not only protectors and healers, but also symbols of balance, wisdom, and divine power. Figures like Olokun, Mamiwata, and the various water deities across the continent embody the profound connection between humans and the natural world. Through their stories and rituals, these deities offer a deeper understanding of the spiritual forces that shape the world, reminding us of the sacredness of water and its ability to heal, protect, and transform. Across the African continent, numerous sacred springs and healing waters are venerated by local communities, each carrying deep spiritual and cultural significance. These bodies of water are not simply seen as physical sources of life, but as powerful spiritual entities protected and revered by gods, ancestors, and nature spirits. From the tranquil springs beneath ancient trees to the vast healing waters of legendary lakes, the sacred sites are interwoven into the fabric of African religious life, offering not only healing and renewal, but also wisdom and protection. One of the most iconic sacred water sites in Africa is the Baobab Tree Springs, found in various regions across the continent, especially in places like Mali and Senegal. The baobab tree, often referred to as the tree of life, is deeply entwined with the spiritual practices of many African cultures. These sacred springs, found beneath or near the towering baobab trees, are believed to be sources of spiritual power and healing. The baobab tree itself is often seen as a guardian of the land and water, with its massive trunk and striking appearance symbolizing both strength and resilience. The water from these springs is believed to possess purifying qualities, capable of healing both physical and emotional wounds. People from surrounding villages often make pilgrimages to these sacred springs, offering prayers and seeking divine blessings for health, prosperity, and protection from misfortune. The Baobab Tree Springs are particularly significant to local communities that believe the water beneath these trees holds the spirits of their ancestors. It is said that the spirits of the departed return to these sacred waters to offer guidance to the living. Rituals performed at these sites often involve the offering of herbs, incense, and food to honor both the water spirits and the ancestors. These offerings are believed to create a connection between the earthly and spiritual realms, inviting the ancestors to bless the land and its people. In addition, the water from these springs is often used in purification rituals to remove negative energy, cleanse individuals spiritually, and restore balance to those in need of healing. Moving to the shores of Lake Tanganyika, one of Africa's largest and most ancient lakes, we find another example of sacred healing waters revered by local cultures. The waters of Lake Tanganyika are believed to possess curative properties, particularly for those suffering from physical ailments. Local legends speak of a powerful spirit residing in the depths of the lake, a deity or ancestor spirit who governs the healing properties of its waters. For centuries, villagers and travelers have flocked to the lake in search of healing, hoping to tap into the restorative powers that are said to flow from its waters. People suffering from ailments such as fever, arthritis, and skin conditions have long believed that bathing in the lake or drinking from its waters can bring miraculous relief. The traditions surrounding the healing waters of Lake Tanganyika are deeply rooted in the belief that the water is not just a source of physical healing, but also a medium through which spiritual balance can be restored. Rituals surrounding the lake often involve invoking the spirit of the water, asking for blessings of health and strength. In some cultures, offerings of fish, herbs, and sacred objects are made to the lake as a way of honoring the spirit of the water and ensuring that its healing powers remain strong. The lake is also seen as a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead are blurred, with the spirits of ancestors said to reside in its depths, offering wisdom and protection to those who seek their guidance. In Egypt, the ancient and powerful Nile River has long been regarded as one of the most sacred bodies of water in the world. The Nile not only played a central role in the development of Egyptian civilization, but was also seen as a divine entity that connected the mortal world to the gods. The river's annual flooding, which brought rich soil to the land and allowed for the cultivation of crops, was believed to be a gift from the gods, particularly from the deity Hapi, the god of the Nile. Hapi was seen as the bringer of abundance, fertility, and life, with his presence deeply tied to the sacredness of the river. The waters of the Nile were not only associated with physical fertility, but also with spiritual renewal. In ancient Egypt, the Nile was seen as a pathway to the afterlife, with the souls of the deceased believed to journey along its waters toward the realm of the gods. The river's waters were seen as purifying, capable of washing away sins and offering blessings to those who approached it with reverence. Rituals and ceremonies performed along the Nile often involved bathing in the river's waters to cleanse oneself of impurities and to receive the protection and favor of the river gods. The Nile's sacredness is still revered in Egypt today, with modern-day pilgrims visiting sacred sites along the river, honoring the ancient traditions that have existed for thousands of years. In West Africa, Lake Bosumtwi, located in Ghana, is another sacred water body surrounded by deep spiritual and cultural significance. Believed to be the crater of an ancient meteorite, Lake Bosumtwi is regarded as a spiritual center and a place where the gods communicate with the living. The Akan people who live near the lake consider it the home of the god Tano, a water deity associated with healing, fertility, and protection. Tano is said to reside within the waters of the lake, offering his blessings to those who approach with respect. The lake is believed to have the power to purify individuals spiritually, making it a key site for both personal and communal healing. Local practices involve offering sacrifices of animals, food, and palm wine to honor Tano and ask for his favor. The lake is also a place of pilgrimage for those seeking spiritual guidance and connection with the ancestors. The sacred springs and healing waters of Africa are not just physical locations. They are living, breathing entities that embody the connection between the natural world and the divine. These waters are central to the spiritual practices of the people who revere them, and the rituals performed at these sacred sites are a testament to the deep respect and reverence that these communities have for the forces of nature and the gods that govern them. Whether it is the Baobab tree springs, the healing waters of Lake Tanganyika, or the sacred Nile, these bodies of water serve as reminders of the sacredness of life, the power of the natural world, and the enduring connection between humanity and the divine. In today's Africa, sacred springs and healing waters continue to hold immense spiritual and cultural significance. While the continent has undergone rapid modernization, many communities still hold on to the ancient belief that water, particularly from sacred springs and lakes, possesses divine powers capable of bringing physical healing, spiritual restoration, and communal well-being. One of the most striking ways in which sacred waters maintain their relevance today is through pilgrimage. Every year, thousands of people journey to sacred sites such as the Baobab tree springs, Lake Tanganyika, or the Nile River to seek blessings, healing, and spiritual renewal. Pilgrims come from all corners of the continent and beyond, hoping to receive divine protection, cure ailments, and achieve personal peace. For example, the annual pilgrimage to the goddess Oshun's river in Nigeria is one of the largest religious gatherings in Africa. Devotees travel from across the globe to honor the Yoruba water deity, hoping to receive her blessings for fertility, health, and prosperity. Similarly, the Lake Bosumtwi pilgrimage in Ghana attracts those who seek the spiritual favor of the god Tano, who is believed to offer healing and protection. In addition to pilgrimages, many communities continue to celebrate festivals that revolve around the sacred waters. These festivals often include rituals, prayers, dances, and offerings made to honor the gods and spirits that govern the waters. During the Mamiwata festivals in West Africa, for instance, communities gather at sacred riverbanks or lakes, offering gifts of food, jewelry, and perfumes to Mamiwata in exchange for her blessings of health, fertility, and wealth. These festivals not only honor the water spirits but also serve as communal events where people connect with each other, share stories, and strengthen their ties to their cultural heritage. Sacred waters are also still used for healing in contemporary society. People suffering from physical illnesses, mental health challenges, or spiritual unrest continue to bathe in or drink from these sacred waters in the hopes of receiving divine intervention. The belief in the healing properties of water is often tied to ancient practices, but these practices remain potent today. For instance, those who suffer from infertility, depression, or chronic illnesses may make pilgrimages to places like Lake Tanganyika or the Nile in hopes of receiving cures or emotional relief. Many communities also use sacred water in rituals designed to cleanse the spirit and restore balance, a practice that remains a central part of African spiritual healing today. In many ways, the healing waters continue to serve as a unifying force, connecting people to both their ancestors and the divine. They embody the continuity of African spiritual traditions, providing a sense of continuity and belonging amidst the challenges of the modern world. Whether for health, spiritual growth, or community bonding, the sacred waters of Africa remain vital to the lives of millions, offering solace, strength, and healing in the face of life's uncertainties. In conclusion, the sacred springs and healing waters of Africa are more than just natural features. They are powerful symbols of the continent's deep spiritual, cultural, and historical heritage. These bodies of water, often believed to be guarded by ancient gods and spirits, continue to play a vital role in the lives of many African communities. From the healing waters of Lake Tanganyika to the divine springs near the baobab trees, these sacred sites are not only sources of physical renewal but also spiritual sanctuaries, offering a connection to the divine and the ancestors. The gods who preside over these waters, such as Olokun, Mamiwata, and countless other water deities, embody the balance of nature, life, and death, and their influence continues to shape African spiritual practices today. The cultural significance of these sacred waters cannot be overstated. They are places of pilgrimage where individuals travel great distances seeking blessings, healing, and spiritual growth. These waters are revered as both protectors and healers, and the rituals surrounding them offer a deep sense of connection to the divine, the ancestors, and the natural world. Communities gather at these sacred sites for festivals, prayers, and offerings, keeping alive ancient traditions that have withstood the test of time. The continued veneration of these waters, alongside the practices and ceremonies associated with them, highlights the enduring importance of African spiritual beliefs and their profound impact on the daily lives of people across the continent. In a world that is rapidly changing, it is crucial to recognize the importance of preserving these sacred places and the traditions that surround them. These springs and lakes are not just geographical landmarks. They are living symbols of African identity, spirituality, and cultural heritage. Protecting these sacred waters means protecting a vital part of Africa's rich history, ensuring that future generations can continue to benefit from their healing powers and spiritual significance. As we look to the future, let us appreciate the depth of African culture and the sacredness of its natural resources. By honoring and preserving these sacred waters, we honor the spirits, the gods, and the cultural traditions that have shaped the African continent for centuries.